Have you ever walked into a place where you felt both scared and amazed at the same time, like your heart was beating fast, but your eyes could not stop looking? Today, I want to share with you my story. A day in the forest, a scary yet beautiful experience that changed the way I feel about nature and also about myself. And I want you to imagine that you are walking with me, because when we listen and imagine, our English becomes stronger, our words become clearer, and our confidence grows. So, come with me step by step into the forest. The story begins in the early morning. The sun was not fully awake, the sky was soft with light, and the air was cool and fresh. I took a small bag, a bottle of water, and started my walk. My heart was excited because I love nature, but I also felt a little nervous because forests are full of secrets. When I entered the forest, the first thing I heard was silence. Not the silence of an empty room, but the silence of many small sounds together. The birds were singing far away, the wind was touching the leaves, and sometimes a branch moved and made me look back quickly. I smiled, but also felt a little fear, because when you are alone in the forest, every sound feels louder. I kept walking slowly, breathing deeply, feeling the smell of wet soil and fresh plants, and I thought, life is so big and we are so small. After some time, I found a narrow path. The path looked dark because the trees made a roof above me. My feet were making soft sounds on the ground, and I told myself, Mourise, be calm, enjoy the walk, do not think too much. But suddenly, I heard a sound behind me, like dry leaves breaking under a foot. I stopped, my body froze, my heart was loud inside me. I turned my head quickly, but there was nothing, only trees and shadows. I laughed a little to hide my fear. Maybe it was just the wind, maybe a small animal, but my mind kept asking, what if it is something else? I walked faster, and the path took me to a small open space where sunlight came down like gold. I felt safe again. I sat on a big rock, drank water, and listened. I saw butterflies flying slowly, I heard birds calling to each other, and I thought, even in fear, beauty is always near. After resting, I continued walking deeper. The forest was getting thicker, the air was cooler, and the light was darker. I held my bag tight, my steps were careful, and then something moved in the bushes, a fast sound like something running. My heart jumped again. I wanted to run, but I stayed. I told myself, do not panic. Be strong. Maybe it is only a rabbit or a deer. And yes, after a few seconds, a small deer came out, its eyes big and soft. It looked at me for one moment and then ran away. I smiled with relief. I felt safe, but also amazed, because the forest is full of life, and every sound has a meaning. Every shadow hides a story. I walked more and more, and I started to feel tired, but then I reached a place that was so beautiful I cannot forget it. There was a small river. The water was clear. It made a soft music. Birds were flying above, and the sunlight made the water shine like glass. I sat there, put my hand in the water, and felt peace. I closed my eyes and thought, this is the beauty of life. Sometimes we feel scared. Sometimes we feel lost. But if we stay, if we walk with courage, we will find peace and light. The forest was scary at first, but now it was my teacher. It taught me that fear is natural. But if we face fear, we can see beauty. We can feel freedom. This day in the forest was not only about trees and animals, it was about me, about my heart, about learning to stay calm. And I believe English learning is also like this forest. In the beginning, we feel fear, we feel lost, we hear strange sounds, difficult words, difficult grammar, and we want to run. But if we stay, if we keep walking step by step, if we listen, if we speak, if we practice, then we will see the beauty, the peace, and the joy of speaking English. My friends, this was my story, a scary yet beautiful day in the forest. I shared it with you not only as a story, but also as a lesson for your English journey. And I want you to think, What is your forest? What is the place that scares you but also gives you hope? Please write your answer in the comments section. I would love to read your stories because when we share, we grow together. And before we end, I want to remind you, if you enjoyed this story, if you felt the emotion, if you learned even one new word, then please subscribe to my channel, Unlocked English Fluency. Click the bell icon, like this video, and share it with your friends because learning English is not only about books, it's about feelings, stories, and connection. My name is Mourise. Thank you for walking with me in the forest today, and I will meet you again in the next story. Stay curious, stay